Okay, we are live with Michelle.
Hello, hello.
The Mercury retrograde in Cancer.
Yep.
So I immediately see it's happening directly on your midheaven.
Mm-hmm. For
And
sure.
I'm just thinking, okay, I'll listen for a bit and then I'm gonna start taking planets off if I feel like we don't need them. Sometimes they're relevant, but
Mm-hmm.
all right, so can you download me a bit on just like what's happening these days, this previous week? What stands out?
I definitely have been a lot more reflective around work, how I'm seen also, and its connection to work. I bumped into an old coworker this weekend actually, and it was like they recognized me as somebody different, which was interesting, which feels very retrograde. Feels is like it was like, oh, I didn't know you did this, or like because I was doing tarot at a friend's birthday, and they were like, I didn't know that you did this. That's so cool. Like I saw you as one way, and like now I can see you as another kind of thing. And just like
Hmm.
around what I was like when I worked with them versus like who I am now. And like it just like I guess it didn't really connect until they saw me. But also like what success looks like for sure. Because we had talked a lot about like I've been healing a lot and I've been very hermited from the world. I very much like withdrew a lot from the world in that time. And just so like, yeah, like how I was perceived at like one time, especially like my life was very centered around my work at one point. And like, yeah, I definitely feel like my reputation, as it will, is starting to like look different. I think to like people that haven't been around me in like the past year or so. Um, yeah.
In what way?
Um, I just think like when my work life has really shifted a lot in the past couple of years, and it's I went from beauty into like advocacy work, like federal advocacy work, and just did a lot more like cultural work and stuff afterwards because I'm First Nations in Canada. Um, and I started leaning into my healing and stuff, and I really just like pulled back from everything in that. And how I was in work was it's very fiery for sure. And I just withdrew a lot from a lot of it, and I think it was just what was actually heart aligned, what was like what felt good. It didn't feel good. I didn't want to do it anymore. And like, yeah, I definitely have been a lot more like what's like the successful bits that I feel like I've accomplished. And like what I see as successful versus what other people see as successful that I've done is also different. Um and yeah, yeah.
Do you have a like full-time position at the moment?
No, that's been part of it. Yeah.
So, do you work part-time somewhere consistent?
I was not right now. I had a contract for a while that was full time, and I was still doing like a little bit of like bits and pieces where I would get like honorariums and stuff for them, almost like freelancing. Um, but I haven't been for a little bit.
Okay, so currently you don't have work actually.
Yeah. Like a yeah.
Okay, but you were doing tarot, I guess, paid for the birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so is that common that you have gig work with the tarot?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Also in like cultural stuff too. I've done like speaking bits. Um, and like it was just Indigenous Peoples Day in Canada, so I did some speaking.
Wait,
Um,
when was that?
the 21st
The
of
20th
June.
of June. Okay, so that was just
Mm-hmm.
kind of just before Mercury went retrograde. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's think about just the previous week. So that gives me a good idea. You don't have a full time, you don't have a part time. Are you searching for work?
Yes. So part of that has been around like I have been wanting to move for a while. So I have been looking um home, which is where I want to move, is my hometown, which is about 18 hours away from me. Which is more along the lines of working with community in terms of it's my home community of my like council office. Um, so yeah.
Well, what's happening like now, right now with that?
Um, it's been trying to figure out how to get from here to there. I've also been bickering a little bit with my family who are there about getting there. But it's just a long trip. Um, and I have to take the dog and the move, and it's just a lot. So that has been a part of it too.
So it's been on your mind that you would like to go back, but you haven't left yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're also, as I hear it, organizing, even if it's just internally for now,
Mm-hmm.
organizing like everything that needs to happen in order for you to move back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you're working on that currently.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So it has looked like trying to look at transportation situations because I have my dog and that's he's coming with me, which has been the biggest hurdle in the bunch. So I've been looking at transportation and like
Wait,
getting
what's wrong
there.
with that? You can't do it with car?
No, I am not a driver as of yet. So yeah, driving unless I go with somebody, yes, I could and do it in that route. Um, my hometown is like in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of forest essentially. So getting there is just it's very remote. So it's difficult in terms of like where it is, it's it's a bit of a challenge. Um so yeah, I've been looking into just like paperwork and stuff that I would need to get for the dog to like go,
Okay.
all that, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, are you starting to hear the retrograde in Cancer?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'm hearing it a lot around this transportation thing. Let me just, there's a
Hmm.
weird noise coming, so I'm gonna close the doors. Okay, so paperwork for the dog. I don't understand. How would you take a bus? Would you take a train?
The two, actually, both. Yeah.
Okay, and therefore you need to get paperwork that the dog can go on the train, it can go on the bus.
Hmm.
And do you have to get like support animal paper? Is it like that or is it
Yeah.
something else?
Yeah, pretty much. He's pretty much my therapy dog. So it's just kind of getting the paperwork. It's also just been like wrangling the people to get them to get the signings and stuff. um, which has been obviously not overly simple. Just the busyness and getting the appointments in itself have been kind of delayed. Um, like my doctor had like a surgery and the appointment that I had gotten canceled and like yeah. So I've been trying to wrangle that in order to like go. So yeah, the obviously the delay in terms of like paperwork, in terms of also like you say miscommunication with my family because they've been like pestering me about when, and I'm like, I can't give you a date until I have all of this stuff like situated.
Uh-huh.
They're getting antsy and I know it's coming from a good place. I know they want me there. It's just like I can't really go if I don't have all of my ducks in a row to leave, you know? So, yeah.
Okay, there's several questions coming up for me.
Hmm.
The first one, Why are they getting antsy? What's the rush?
right? And I feel like it's partially like they just want me there, but are itching for me to be closer to them, be like I'm far, I barely see them, like I only see them like once a year, if that. So the last time I was home was last summer. So I feel like they're just like itching to get me home, to get me like situated. I feel like they feel like they can't be situated until I'm situated, and that's not the case. But yeah, it's been like this for pretty much since I've said I've wanted to move, to be honest with you. Like, so when are you coming? And I'm like, okay, I got to get stuff in order before I can come. Like, it's not like it's a short trip, it's a long trek. So it takes some stuff to get in a row here. But yeah.
Hmm. When you get the paperwork for the dog, so how
Mm-hmm.
long have you been working on that? Like the past week?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So what do you have to do?
So I have been printing off like all of the stuff. I've tried to book an appointment with my doctor, which I have to call again today. To because she thought she had a cancellation. She's gonna try and squeeze me in, yada yada. So I have to call actually when I'm like later today to see if I can get in this week. If I can't get in this week, it'll probably be in the next week or two, and then I can get my paperwork signed, and then I can book my things to go because I have to submit my papers to do my bookings. So,
Uh,
yeah.
I see.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, so you have to, is it just the doctor sign off at this point?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why the doctor? What's the doctor have to do with this?
The doctor is who's signing off on the fact that like just my health stuff and like what I have been doing in terms of like him being the support for it. So he's my little pal. He pretty much comes with me everywhere. So like it's just to keep him with me while I'm traveling, and so he's not separated from me at
So
any
it needs
point.
to be like officiated.
Yeah, of
But does
sorts.
he already have the emotional support animal title or whatever?
Not particularly, but it's like a specific form that he has to sign for like the train folk, that
Uh-huh.
essentially they're just like, okay, he's supporting her. We can leave. Like, he doesn't have to be like kenneled or anything like that.
Uh-huh. Okay, are you
Hmm.
seeing the cancer and all that?
Hmm.
And the Mercury retrograde, right? Like you've been talking about it, you were planning to go. Even when we last spoke, we thought it was like, oh, you were going to get up randomly. Now I'm finding that's not possible because you have all this paperwork to do. There comes Mercury retrograde for me. The delay in
Hmm.
travel is coming from the need to organize the paperwork for the ESA animal.
Hmm.
And get the sign off from the dog and make it official. I'm also
Yeah.
starting to feel the 10th house.
Hmm.
Like work with the authorities to make sure that everything is correct, because otherwise you can't go.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. There's another thing coming up for me. It's
Hmm.
called the Mercury Kazemi. It happens like the 12th, 13th of July. So that's 1 week from today.
Okay.
You think it's possible that that's the day that you get your paperwork all signed?
It's possible.
Right, we don't know for sure.
It's possible.
The point being that when Mercury is at the heart of the sun, it's kind of like
Hmm.
something happens. There's information that comes in, important information. Because you have to think about it like this. Just notice the movement of Mercury. What he's doing when he
Hmm.
goes backwards is he's actually passing through the sun. Do you see that?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So when he's passing through the sun, that is like a phase change. So
Hmm.
there you can see that, like, okay, the dog has the paperwork. That's the phase change. Now you can start getting yourself geared up, buy the tickets and whatever. And then I imagine, like, once Mercury is direct, that's going to be like the 23rd, 24th of
Hmm.
July, then you're kind of ready.
Mm,
Does that make sense?
yeah, I could see that. I could
Okay.
totally see that. Yeah.
What else are you and your family discussing during this time?
Oh, like we've been we've been having, especially around work, honestly too, around like their perception of like work for me and what that has to look like. And I feel like we've had a lot of like success kind of conversations in terms of like, this is your meaning of success, this is my meaning of success. They see success in a typical 9 to 5 has HR kind of job. And I'm like, that's not necessarily how it works in 2026. I'm so sorry. So it's like aspects of that has been a bit of a conversation. And like, my work life has never been like that. For the record, it's been, I have pretty much been remote since COVID in my work, and I have loved it. um, I love, if I could work from home always, I would. So my last job was very much like that. It was pretty much entirely remote. I was pretty much entirely in charge of my schedule when I was doing meetings, all that kind of stuff. If I had a conference coming up, I could decide if I wanted to go or if I didn't want to go, etc. Um, and so we've been having discussions around what that looks like in terms of like they think I need to have a typical 9 to 5 in order to be quote unquote like a successful established adult, and I'm like, that's not necessarily true for 2026. I also refuse to work jobs that are mentally unwell for me, and I've come from environments that are like that. So I'm a lot more mindful of the kind of work that I'm looking into. Like, I'm not going to go into something that I don't feel is aligned with my heart and that it feels like good. Like, I want it to be meaningful work. I don't want to just do shit. I sold foundations to Karens for 10 years. I've retired, okay? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So are they kind of pushing you also like to get a job already?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like in nursing school, so like I that has been like go to the hot like go work at a hospital. Every hospital's hiring, and I'm like, have you worked in a hospital? Like, it's not fun. Like, it's not a fun time. And I I'm at peace. Like, I don't want to, I'm good. I did my time. It sucked. And I'm good. I'm fine. But it's like I'm moving into like other avenues of healing aspects. It just looks different than the traditional way that you would, you know? So yeah, we've had a lot of spicier conversations around that topic specifically.
Very good. So obviously that makes perfect sense, right? With the
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are you surviving in the meantime?
Whew, I feel like I have really perfected my, we'll say, wellness routine. I know what works for me now in like I need to protect my peace end of things. I will go sit in nature. I will go on a like nature is definitely a priority when I need to like protect my peace. I need to walk, I need to move. Um,
But
and
surviving, I mean in the financial sense. Like,
oh, surviving in the financial sense. Yeah, it's not been like ideal. I've been fine though. Like, I've been getting like opportunities to do readings and stuff more in the past like couple of months for sure. Um and have been really building that up too in terms of like regulars and stuff like that. So that end of
hmm.
things has been like picking up, especially since like January, February-ish has been a little bit like has been more consistent. So yeah, that's been
Okay.
going better.
But are you like actively researching online, like other stuff that you could be doing, like looking at
Hmm.
looking at companies? Is that happening this previous week?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me,
Yeah.
can you illustrate that a bit for me?
Yeah, so I've been looking at jobs like home, specifically, and just around also like language and stuff because like it's a predominantly a different language. So just like what are the requirements in terms of that? I've been out of it for a hot second, so just like trying to resituate myself to be like a predominantly different language speaker in a work sense as well.
Uh,
Yeah, so like my hometown's primarily French. So like I am French speaking. Obviously, I don't use it on the regular as much as I used to. So like I have to get acquainted in terms of like how much of a language requirement is part of things. Um, yeah, especially like I like to talk clearly. And public speaking always I find ends up somewhere rooted in my work in some avenue. And so I'm like, okay, like if that is a part of it and I have to do like press stuff or whatever, like am I gonna have to do it in French? Like just trying to like the language barrier aspect.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, is that making sense with the
Yes.
Mercury retrograde in Cancer?
Yes. Yes.
Right in the 10th house. Okay, reconsidering what language. That's so interesting.
Mhm. And even
So,
too like our actual native language, like the actual language itself of like our First Nation community of Mi'kmaq, like I want to learn it. And like that is not fun. And so I'm like, okay, like is language courses like offered? Like could I do that through them? Is that something like they would help me with and like learning? But that goes for the French too. And like, like just that end of stuff. But also like what feels fulfilling in that world, because I definitely would rather be in that world. Like I'm confident where I would go and work there. It's just like what specific thing kind of thing. Like they have like fishing stuff. They have like stuff around like cultural work specifically or like their garden. Like there's different so I'm like where in there would I that would feel like
uh-huh.
aligned for me, right? Or like that I feel like I would be contributing the best or like yeah.
Ooh! Okay, but there's something I'm not getting. You said your hometown is like 5,000 people. Did I remember correctly?
Yeah, it's super small.
So, but you're looking for work there in your hometown.
Mhm.
But so then there's not many options, in fact.
Uh no, like there is but there isn't. In terms of me, what is going to help me is the fact that I am from there. Like the fact that I am already a part of a very big family, they're known, and I'm coming home. Like, pretty much, I've been told, don't worry about it, she'll be fine. Like, it's basically just kind of like figuring out where specifically I would want to. I'm not concerned about like actually obtaining it. I know they will take me. I also have a lot of experience in that world that they don't. So I know I'll be taken. It's just like, where do I want to be taken to?
Okay, is there anything that's like already inspiring you, or are you still kind of,
I'm still like, because there's a lot of different worlds in it. And I'm like, what would something be more interesting that's like new that I haven't really delved into that I feel like would be like good learning that is like more connected to home, like more land-based things. Like we have the ocean. Like for example, in comparison to here, I'm outside of Toronto. There's no ocean here. It's crappy lake water. So it's just like I'm able to work more specifically with like fisheries and like oceans and like federal park and like that end of things.
okay,
Or yeah,
go ahead, go ahead.
but just like there's also still like the advocacy side of stuff in terms of like Jordan's principle and like helping kids and like getting their funding. There's just so many different like
Okay, do you notice ocean, fisheries, children, cancer?
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah?
yeah.
Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Do you have like, are you already corresponding with some of those people? Are there like emails,
No,
calls, interview? Nothing yet.
no. I have family who already work in there. So
Uh-huh.
it's been like a little bit of back and forth in that. They basically have told me to not really like once I get home to contact them, to basically have an idea of what I am wanting or like what would be some different paths I would be interested in. So we haven't personally. So I know the retrograde of
I
like the
get it.
miscommunication I could feel for sure. So but yeah, they were like once she gets home, like she can contact us and we'll place her like we're not like it's good. We're Gucci. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm feeling is like because the retrograde essentially goes through a couple phases, and you're in the first
Mhm.
phase where Mercury's just gone retrograde, right? So there I'm hearing it's more like research, you're testing things out, you're thinking about it, but there's not like anything that's been decided on.
Mhm.
And that makes me think about again when Mercury goes Cazimi, 12th, 13th
Mhm.
of July, right? Maybe there's like a decision or a better idea. You're like, okay, maybe I would like to talk to those people or get more information. And then
Mhm.
Mercury, right, will station direct. Maybe that's when you kind of start to prepare to gear up back home. And then what I notice is that
Mhm.
you're going to go to your Mercury return, which happens on the same day as your solar return. That's
Mhm.
going to be 13th of August. Well, 12th of August for you, but whatever.
Mhm.
That makes me think of okay, that's when the new job is finally starting. I mean, maybe it's
Okay.
too soon. I don't know. That seems like pretty quick, like a month and a half. I don't know about that.
Mhm. Hmm. I have been like I know this is kind of like sidebar, but I did notice that my birthday was on the eclipse this year and I was
Ah,
like low key like tweaking about it. And I was like, oh, it also is like perfectly conjunct my sun. And so now I'm like, oh shit, Mercury's part of the equation. So yeah, I feel like my birthday in particular this year is a little beefier, maybe than normal.
think about it.
Um,
You're looking for a totally new position in a totally new place. Like you're starting over. Your life is going to change dramatically. How long have you been? Are you in Toronto, you said?
yeah, I've been here for a while.
What is a while?
Uh, we moved here as a family when I was like 10, and my parents moved back when I was an adult, and I just stayed. So I've been here for 26 years.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Do you see the eclipse? Right? It's the end of the 26 years in Toronto.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a totally new life happening. Also, of course, the
Hmm.
eclipse is happening directly on your sun.
Hmm.
Is it likely that you're going to get some kind of leadership management position? Maybe not straight away, but gearing up towards?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
right?
I know my shit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, right, also like the sun, Leo 10th house, like, come on.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I also feel like one thing that I have a lot of experience in that they don't particularly have any area of expertise in. I got a lot of like media training and stuff like that in my last job because we had to talk to like prime minister and minister people and like we had to do a lot of media training with them. And so that aspect of like when they do press and like that end of things, I feel like that has been an area that I feel like I can help them with, especially in terms of like a visibility aspect and like utilizing my end of that in terms of their media because they have
Wait a
none.
minute. Is that to like improve, is it for tourism or is it just to like improve business or expand business?
All of the above, like they have like a lot, they do have a pretty big tourism thing specifically, where they get a lot of tourists that come through. Like they have like a history kind of thing that they have as like a park attraction almost. But they do a lot of media things to talk about like the state of the ocean, and like they're finding new animals. Like now we're getting sharks in our waters, and like they're having to address the water temperature increasing and how this plant here, like they're doing a lot more press. And when they're doing press, it's like their message is not really, they don't hit as hard because they don't have like that aspect of like the media training, whereas I do. So
Mm,
I'm like, I could see aspects of like that end of myself being really beneficial to home. So like that's kind of where I have been leaning towards in terms of there, because I have like, I'm like, I have the skill, knowledge to do it in like that end of things, but like it still allows me to dip my toes into multiple waters within it, just in,
interesting.
yeah.
Even that, I hear the solar eclipse because it feels like you're kind of on a mission. I don't know. I just feel something big in what you're doing. It's kind of,
Mm.
I don't know how to say, like you're representing also the First Nations,
Hmm.
but also like your hometown. And there's just something interesting developing, is what I'm hearing very much.
Okay.
Okay, do you see how this like retrograde is just gearing you up? And you're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Before you
Yeah.
set off and finally like change your life, now you have to just get all the documents and stuff together. I guess also like organize your house eventually, because you're not gonna move straight away. This is just a visit in the first place, right?
Yeah, so I feel like what I'm going to do is literally just go with a suitcase and come back in the fall and just pack up my stuff without the dog and then go back, like just come here without him, pack up the rest of my stuff and then ship it and just go back after that. Just it's a lot, and then with the dog, it's just he's a handful. I love him, but he's a lot.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Does that all
Yeah.
make sense to you? Do you see how that all works together now?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, I feel like every time I'm like, I pick little pieces up that are that are
Yeah.
different, you
It's a
know?
mental discovery, right? It's a cosmic
Yeah,
journey to see the timing and the organization of it all.
right? Yeah. Even too, I know this was like the last time we kind of specifically talked about my Mercury. I never realized how much my hair was a calling card until that particular time we talked about it. And then like I had people specifically like over the weekend at that thing, like, oh, you're the girl with the red hair, you're her. Like, and it was, it just like, you start to math and you start to see it all mathing. Crazy. Awesome though. Awesome. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, I'm gonna stop recording here.
Yeah.
Michelle and I are signing out with the Mercury retrograde in Cancer. How
Mm.
interesting and how wonderfully illustrated. Okay.